Welcome to my channel, ladies. This is Diane Tuggle from the Happy Scrapbooker, and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in the Eastern United States, and I'm here today to make a fun fold card. It's called a hidden message card. This is the card, and what you do is you open it like that, and another message pops through. So when it's not opened, it says love you, or you could put happy birthday or whatever you want. And then when you open it, the next message slides through, the hidden message, and it says your friendship is the best gift. So I'm going to show you how to make this card. This is using the new Delightful Wishes paper and stamp set and dies. This is the stamp set, and you can see it's a layered stamp set. So it's photopolymer, which is clear, so you can line everything up. These are all wonderful dies that come with it, and makes all kinds of pretty flowers. It has a label die, a branch, some big flowers that are like marigolds. This one is like a background die that cuts the little holes out, so you see a design in the paper. And then it has a layered word die that is wishing. So this is the background and this is the detail. But we're going to be using flower stamps today. Let me show you some of the flowers that I made using the marigold type one. And it has, I love this branch. It has this really cool branch. It has leaves that are layered. So it has a couple of sizes. But it also has this really pretty flower right here that is stamped in 2 layers. I have a background here, but this is the flower I'm concentrating on. And this right here in the middle is the Stampin' Up Metallic Enamel Effects in gold. And it's teeny tiny little dots. And it's kind of raised when it dries. It's really, really cool. That set comes with a copper, a silver, and a gold. So we're going to make this. The only thing that I added to it that wasn't in this suite are the brushed brass butterflies, and they're self-adhesive. I also had some sheer organdy ribbon that was in my stash. I just loved it against this paper. And this came from Michael's, I believe. And then I used, for the verse, Seaside Wishes, I used Love You and Your Friendship is the Best Gift, because it fit really nicely into the openings. And the verses that came in this are long and skinny, and it just doesn't work for this card. But they're still really nice verses. So I'll show you again how the card works. Like this. This is what it looks like. So it has a place in here. It has an insert. And it has to be able to move, so it is not glued down. So I'm going to show you exactly how it's made. It's a really, really pretty card. I love this paper from Stampin' Up. Yellows are usually not what I'm drawn to, but I really like this. So I also used a 2-inch and a 2 1/4 inch die. It's 2-inch. And that is to get this border right here on the front. You don't have to put that. And then to get the opening in the card. So first we're going to work on these flowers. I'm going to have a seat. And I've got, let me clean off this stamp. Okay, I've got a lighter yellow and a dark yellow. And if you look at the stamp set and then look at the die cut, you can line up that big petal right there, and it should line up perfectly. Yellow is kind of hard to see when you first stamp it, but as it dries, you'll be able to see it better. So we're going to do a few of these while we have it out. This is just the background of the flower, not the detail. So we did those, then to the side, and I'm going to put those back on there. And then I have a darker yellow, and again, you're going to line it, just turn it around till, okay. You should be able, there's a big petal right here, and that's where that big petal is right there. They line up. And you can see the detail. I hope you can hear me okay. Sometimes my voice gets really quiet, so I'm sorry if it does that. Anyway, those are the flowers. And now we're gonna do this leaf that goes with it with a light green. And on this stamp, when I first stamped it, I thought, oh, it's not coming out good. But it actually has like little highlights in the leaf, so it doesn't completely cover it. It has some detail in there. Let's show you what I mean. See the little dots? And I'm using Stampin' Up colors that are Lemon Lolly and this, I can't remember this green. It's not garden green, it's a shade lighter. But I'll have all that written in the description box for you. So those are your leaves. And then I have a panel on the front of this card, a decorated panel. This measures, get it right here. The yellow layer, the background layer, measures 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and the white is 2.5 by 3.5, so that they layer on top of each other. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to do, put that over there, my light colored flowers on here first. And I am just going to pick a place and lay it down. So on that flower, the light colored one, there's a place that has 2 little petals by itself. And if you look at the, oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. At the dark colored one, those 2 little petals are right down here at the bottom. So on the dark colored one, those 2 little petals are right there. This is the detail. And we are going to line that up using that. Oh, that came out perfectly. Okay, now we're going to add We can close these up. And we're gonna do the branch. I'm gonna add a green branch right through the middle of it. And then we have some leaves. So these leaves, you want to use them to kind of fill in the spaces. I'm going to turn it this way. Where those two big ones are together, there's an empty space there, and I'm going to, or between the flowers, I'm going to put that down just like that. So that came out really well. So we're going to, on this card there is no dimensionals. We are going to keep this as flat as possible. And the reason is the inside of the card can't have anything to snag on. And it is actually like 3 layers of cardstock. So you don't want it to be too thick to mail. So that's our panel that goes right here. And I'm gonna add these little, after I said there's no dimensionals, there are on these 2 flowers, and that's it. Okay. I'm gonna put one heading in that direction, and one heading in that direction. And I think I'm going to put a leaf right there, nice and flat. So I'm going to put another leaf on there because it kind of needs some more green. And then I'm going to put one, I don't want to cover my flower, over here. Make sure you keep it inside the lines there. So we'll save these for another one. And the next thing I'm going to do is tie my little ribbon on here, trying to keep this nice and flat. So I want to put my finger there, make a nice tight turn. There's no bow, it's just a knot. Just pull it back through, keep it tight. Ribbon, scissors. Someone is dinging me, and I don't want to be dinged right now. I think we'll have to wait. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my gold metallic effects on here. Let me find a straight pin so I can make sure it's not clogged. I need to move these over here where I can reach them. Okay. And it is clogged. So I'm running a straight pin through there. And I'm going to practice right here on my silicone mat. Get the size dots I want. Teeny ones. I'm putting about 5 or 6 of them on here. And we're going to let that dry. And if I run that back in there one more time, maybe it won't be clogged next time. So we're going to let this dry. Go put it over here out the way. These are the dies. I'm going to put them back in here for those flowers. Okay. And now I'm going to show you the dimensions and the cutting for this card. So it has a lot of layers. but it's really simple. So this is the back. Let me write them where. Pen, and I will write down with a sticky note what they are. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is the back of the card. Then you have 2 pieces that measure, make sure I'm right, 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. Both of them measure 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. This is the card insert. And then this is the card front. And again, it measures 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So those are those 2 pieces. Now this piece gets scored at 5 1/2. So it's scored at 5 1/2 inches like this. This is the same size as the back of the card, 5 1/2. And then the insert is scored at 4 1/4. So the insert is scored at 4 1/4. And that actually will go inside of here, like this, when we put it together. And then that was the front of the card. This is the front of the card. It goes like this. Sorry, this is the front of the card. And then this piece right here is, I cut it a 1/16 of an inch smaller than the front of the card. So instead of 4 1/4, it's 4 1/16, and that would be that way. And instead of 5 1/2, it's 5 3/16, I think it is. So it's just a 1/16 of an inch smaller all the way around. So let me show you how to assemble it. I'll take that off of there. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is glue these 2 pieces on. So you remember that is the front. So we're going to be using wet glue and dry glue for this. I just want you to do the outside edges because we're going to be cutting a hole in the front of this in a minute. And line it up so it's even all the way around. So that's your back piece. You don't have to do anything with that. This is our insert piece. And the insert piece will be glued right here. Now it'll be glued, after we cut the holes, it'll be glued in place. So what we're going to do, we need holes that go through these 2 layers and this layer, which is the insert, and this layer. So it's 4 layers of paper. So I'm going to do 2 layers, and then I'm going to line it up with a pencil, draw a circle, and do these 2 layers. So let me do that. This is my 2-inch circle. You want to get it where it's down far enough to put that frame around it and still enough room to put this. So we're going to eyeball it. Take the tape off of these guys. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to run it through the die cut machine, and I will be right back. Only take a second. So here we are back. And now I'm going to take that off of there. Carefully, don't want to lose that. I'm going to save that for another project. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up. I'm trying to avoid the area where the circle die is going. So we're going to line that up. Like that. So you see it is lined up like this. This is what it looks like on the front, and now I'm going to close it, the insert. Close the insert. I did it in a contrasting color this time because I wanted you to be able to see it a little better. And I'm going to put that there and that there, and I'm going to run this through the die cut machine again. And you could do this with a 2-inch punch if you have a 2-inch punch. It doesn't have to be a die, but then you wouldn't have that pretty frame, yellow frame that I use to cut the dies. Okay. It's another one of those circles. Okay, this is what it looks like. As it comes out the die cut. And I'm going to gently take this low-tack tape off. And pray that it went all the way through one hole. And it might not have. It did not, so we're going to run it through one more time. Yep, we're going to run it through one more time. I should have put a little more pressure on it, or a shim, I reckon, because I didn't have trouble before. Okay, we'll do this one more time. We're going to take that off. Be careful with that low-tack tape because sometimes it will go ahead and tear. Good golly. Come on now. I didn't put enough pressure on it. So, I can see my lines. I didn't have any trouble the first time. No trouble. There we go. We got it. Okay. So here is our card front with the insert right here. So now's the time to go ahead and put the verse on. So let me show you the verse. This flap right here on the front that tucks in is where the first verse is, right here. So this card, it would be right here on this yellow. And I'm going to use some archival ink by Ranger. Because I want a nice crisp, and I want it to line up in that hole. So practice it. Make sure you're getting a good crisp. And it fits right in that hole. Nice crisp image. Okay. So that is that one. I'm going to tuck that back in the back. So now we're going to put the back on. And the back is just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And what we're going to do with that piece is we're going to take this insert and glue it right here with a very narrow edge of glue. Right here. So I'm going to take my wet glue and I'm going to just put that right there. Let me put my lid back on it. Okay. So we're going to line up the edge. And so see, the insert edge is lined up right next to that. So now we need the image, the front of the card first. And that one is Love You. And again, I'm going to practice it. And I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to close up my ink so I don't make a mess. And this is what I mean by the frame. So I taped these together evenly and ran this yellow piece through, and I have this nice little frame. And that frame is going to fit right on there perfectly. So again, we're going to wet glue that on. So there, that decorates that. And let's go ahead and put this on. So our little piece right here has to go on. And I don't want it to really touch that, but it's coming close. So I'm going to put some wet glue behind that. I don't know if that gold is dry yet or not, so got to be careful. We don't want to smear the center of the flowers. So we're going to put that there. And try to center it. Okay, we're almost finished. I'm going to put, let me close up my glue here before it gets gunked up. Okay, so maybe I should have put a flower there too. Maybe. No, but you know what? This stamp set has these teeny tiny little, it has these right here. And I think they're really, really pretty. So we're going to use them. And let's see, what color should we make it? We'll just do yellow. We'll do a light yellow. We don't want to take away from it too much, so I'm just going to put 3 of them right there. And that is all. Don't want to go crazy with it. It's too elegant looking. So now this card is finished, except for tucking in this verse. And you're going to tuck it in, and I did it in yellow and white so you could see the difference. So, oh, I forgot my butterflies too. This one, see, it just tucks in there, and it fits in a regular envelope to mail. And so you're just going to open it, and that goes like that. So on this one, when it's closed, it's like that. When you open the card, the hidden message pops in. I think I put a little too much glue on this edge here. We're going to open that up a little bit. Open it up a little bit. Okay, another thing you can do is run this through the paper trimmer and trim off just a scant edge. So what I'm going to do is tuck that back in. Okay, that worked perfectly now. Open it. Here's your hidden message. That's so pretty. I like it better with the yellow and white, but I'll put them both side by side. There you go. So we need to add our little tiny butterflies. These are like brass. There's a big one and a little one, and they're self-adhesive. I just take my scissors, put one there, and take a teeny tiny one and put it there. And when you mail this, if you just, let me see if I can explain it. Take, let me get an envelope. Hold on. Okay. And of course I see no envelopes around here. I should have been a little more prepared. Oh well. We're gonna pretend this is an envelope. So this is the one that's still drying a little bit. So what I'm going to explain is when this is your envelope, pretend. This is a blank piece of paper. In order to avoid paying extra postage and damaging anything on the front of your card, like I have a little knot here, and I have those brass butterflies, I lay a piece of plain cardstock right over top of it. Sometimes I'll write a note on that. and I just put it in the envelope, and there's no extra postage because it keeps it nice and flat, protects the front of your card. And anyway, that's just a little tip, and I hope you enjoyed the card. There's both of them. I'll have the dimensions and the supplies listed in the description box. And if you want to find me, I'm at the Happy Scrapbooker on Facebook groups. I will also list my shopping website. And I'd love to hear from you and see what you think about my hidden message card. So you have a good day. Thanks for watching, ladies.